Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kaghoe coming at you with another video. So today, I wanted to talk about my Phase 6 concerns. This has been weighing a lot on my mind since we got the announcement video, or not a video, but the announcement post last week. And it's just been something that, I just don't know if Phase 6 is going to be that exciting, and I hate to say that, because I've been super optimistic and hopeful for SOD the entire time, but I just wanted to take the time to share my thoughts and what my Phase 6 concerns are. But before we get into the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Everything you guys do helps my channel grow, helps me get discovered, and helps me help as many people as possible, which is the entire point of my channel. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the biggest concern I have right now is, while we did get the timetable post, and that's what I'm going to refer to it as, and they announced what we're going to be doing, the dates are very clear, it doesn't really have anything new. It's just simply AQ launching as is. The only new thing is that they put all the Emerald Dragons into a raid, which could be very fun and cool. We'll have to see with that. And AQ has a new raid system. But there's no PTR, there's no PvP event, there's no new PvE event, and there's really just the raid. And that is very concerning to me, because we have seen this in Phase 5 with just BWL and ZG, and while raiding numbers are holding strong, there's just people pretty much raid logging. That's what I'm doing, that's what most of my guild is doing. I don't really see the world as vibrant as it is and was in Phase 4, with people going out there doing the BRM event. Like, people were getting together, forming groups and stuff, grinding that out, and it just feels like we're lacking something, and back-to-back phases of lacking something is not something that I think would be good for SOD. However, the AQ raid mechanic, while I do think it has a ton of potential and could be really fun for the top end guilds, I think it is going to be extremely hit or miss for pugs and the more casual people. I think they'll get very upset for either A, gatekeeping that always happens. The standard norm is going to be get to this point, like there's going to be a clear point where the raid gets very hard, and it'll be like an extra piece of loot, and that point, that breaking point, is where all the pugs are either going to triumph or they're going to quit, or players themselves will be like, you have to have at least done this to come to this group. And Classic has a lot of pug potential, and the content isn't too hard. I see people doing MC pugs, I see people doing BWL pugs, I see that every day in trade chat and stuff, and I think that's good and healthy for the casual people that can't really commit to a schedule, cannot commit to a raid team, and do all the content that way. And so I think this mechanic is going to be really fun for the top end guilds, but really, really bad for the casual players, and we're going to see a lot of them quit. And believe it or not, the casual players kind of drive the game and are playing the game way more, and you know, we see a lot of their player base all the time in every aspect of the game. So another concern I have is they didn't announce any new profession content. They didn't announce any new epic quests. They didn't announce any new runes. We just sort of got the raid once again, and I think that is a problem, because in Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, Phase 4, we've gotten something. Even Phase 5 gave us 2 new ring runes to go and get. While that's not much, that is something. Phase 4, I think, was such a awesome phase for everything, and it did really, really well and revitalized the game. I think Phase 4 nailed it with having the MCB a complete revamp, adding some mechanics, adding the heat system, which I know people debate that, whether or not that was good or not, but it was new. It used a lot of pieces of the game that were already there, that only tanks really used to tank rag, and so it built on gear that was already there. It innovated it, it made it, it put it behind some reps that we could go and grind. Phase 4 absolutely nailed it, and we saw Phase 4 bring the player base back from 20,000 raiders to almost 85 5,000 people playing. So, having a phase be so successful and 4x your player base from rating numbers. I wish I had true numbers, but I guess I'll never have those. But I can use rating for an example, and seeing that go from that all-time low for Season of Discovery at 20,000 players to 85,000 is really impressive. And I think that they should look at Phase 4, see what they did. They brought a new PvE event, they brought a new PvP event, and all the reps, professions, and things that you could do in the world. I think Phase 4 absolutely killed it, and I think it is a good base formula to follow to make Phase 5, well, obviously not Phase 5, but make Phase 6 awesome. And with AQ, the potential is there. That's the thing. Like, you have a PvE event that's literally just in the game. You could definitely very easily put a spin on that with the 48-hour war is what it's called. You could very easily make that all the time and put the rep behind it, allow people to just go out there and do those invasions and be able to do it. It's very similar to like the Scourge evasions that happen in Nax later on. Like, those PvE events, they don't have to be just 48 hours. You could just leave them up, and people could choose that as an alternate way to go grind that Cenarian Circle rep, so they're not just bottlenecked and forced into getting Twilight Cultist pages or killing a few things in Silithus here. So just some food for thought and what I would like to do. Now, those are my 3 biggest concerns for it, and now I want to talk about hope. So obviously I'm a positive person, I like to be optimistic, and so here's something to throw out there. So on November 13th we have the Warcraft Direct, right? And to me it seems very, very, very strange for them to announce the Phase 6 timeline video on a random Tuesday when we are 2 weeks out from the Warcraft Direct. That just is like a red flag. Why not announce it all? Then I know they want to start the AQ on November 12th, but like, you could have started that a week later, right? You could have started the opening of Encourage a week later and announced it at Warcraft Direct to build hype. As well as everything that happened with Soda Poppin' and the OnlyFans Guild and Hardcore. To me, those are 2 big signs that we might have something new or very big for the Classic Project. Right now, the Classic Project as a whole, with Kata, with Hardcore, with Era, and with Season of Discovery, are hitting all-time lows. People just aren't playing it. And it's, that should set off alarm bells for anyone that is a Classic enjoyer. And so, to me, those signs all point to that big new thing. And here's a few of those possibilities. We could get a fresh Era. We could get fresh Hardcore. We could get a true Classic Plus. That's the big one. That's the one I really, really hope they make. But obviously, could just be a dream. And we could also see a fresh Hardcore server that's a TBC server, because there's been a lot of people itching for TBC and wanting it, and it's definitely the furthest thing away that we've seen as far as like seasonal content and classic content goes. So that could be really, really cool to see. As well as they could just announce that Season of Discovery is going into TBC as well. So those are just a few of the things that I have have heard, seen around that could be stuff to come in the future and what they could announce at Warcraft Direct. But there is always a lot they can do, and I'm ever hopeful that they'll make Classic awesome. They've done a good job in 5 years in maintaining it and revived a game that's essentially been non-existent for 20 years. So it's really cool to see that Classic World of Warcraft is the greatest MMO that has ever been and might ever be. I hope the future has some cool stuff, but I always find myself coming back to Classic and enjoying it. And I didn't even play Classic as a kid. I was a Wrath baby. So anyway, guys, I truly hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to hear what your concerns are for Phase 6. If you agree with me, disagree with me, definitely drop it down below. I read them all. But until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, you. Yes, you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.